So jump aboard our love train each week. The Chapters Wrap, where unity and diversity meet, one chapter at a time.
Cap off a weekend of watching sports by talking about it with Mark Rosenman and AJ Carter on Sports Talk New York. All the intelligent conversation, insightful interviews, and just plain fun are now right here on WLIE540AM from 7 to 8:30 Sunday nights. Visit their website, www.sportstalknylive.com, for previews of upcoming guests. Visit their Facebook page to win prizes. That's Sports Talk New York, Sunday nights from 7 to 8:30 on WLIE540AM.
As a parent, your child's safety is always on your mind, but you can't be there for every moment. Providing information about alcohol, marijuana, and opiates to your children can be life-saving. Let your kids get their information from a reliable source, you. Visit ParentCheckNJ.com to learn more. That's ParentCheckNJ.com. This message sponsored by Impact New Jersey Coalition, a program of the New Jersey Prevention Network, U.S. Center for Substance Abuse Prevention, Partnership for a Drug-Free New Jersey, the New Jersey Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Hi, I'm Pastor Bill Shishko, inviting you to tune in to A Visit to the Pastor's Study every Saturday from 12 noon to 1 p.m. here on WLIE Radio. We bring biblically faithful pastoral ministry to you, and we invite you to visit the Pastor's Study by calling in with your questions. Our time will be lively, useful, sometimes controversial, but never dull. Join us this Saturday at 12 noon for A Visit to the Pastor's Study, because everyone needs a pastor.
Download our free WLIE540AM app and get all the information you need right on your smartphone. Find our app at WLIE540AM.com or visit the App Store right from your phone. Our way of saying thanks for listening to WLIE540AM.
Hey, what's all the racket about?
Didn't you hear? A massive project to repair the Route 495 bridge between New Jersey Turnpike and Route 3 to the Lincoln Tunnels starting in August. One lane of traffic in each direction will be closed for the next 2.5 years. The good news is the exclusive bus lane will remain open throughout construction.
Visit RestoreNJ495.com to sign up for project alerts to stay informed. This message sponsored by the NJDOT, New Jersey Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Reformed Witness Hour is one of the oldest Christian radio broadcasts still on the air and spreading the good news of salvation in Jesus Christ by His sovereign grace. Tune in to 540 AM every Sunday morning at 8 to the Reformed Witness Hour, faithfully proclaiming God's Word for over 70 years.
You're listening to WLIE 540 AM, Islip, New York, a part of Universal Stations, LLC.
The views, opinions, and statements expressed in the following program reflect the views of program contributors and do not necessarily reflect the views of WLIE Radio, its management, or its sponsors. For questions and comments, please send us an email at WLIE540AMradio@AOL.com or visit us at WLIE540AM.com.
Welcome to the Chapters Wrap Drive Time Show, where unity and diversity meet one chapter at a time. I'm Steve Vaccaro. We have Liddy in the house here. All right, you're going to co-host with me today. The Chapters Wrap is broadcasted live every Friday on WLIE 540 AM or WLIE540am.com from 6 to 7 p.m. Its TV show is broadcasted every Saturday on Optimum Cable, channel 115 from 8 to 9 p.m. Please go to the Chapters Wrap with Steve Vaccaro's Facebook page for other shows and times. We broadcast at a CW Post, St. John's, and York College each and every week, with portions of our shows syndicated in Missouri, Tennessee, Florida, Virginia, and Pennsylvania. So jump aboard our love train by calling in 631-955-5400. And George, I am back in the studio. I have a bone to pick with you, sir.
Uh-oh, I don't like the way you're starting the show off.
Yes,
Hello,
yes,
Steve.
yes. I was gonna say step into my office, but is this your office
You're
or
in
my
office? This is my office.
It's Liddy's office.
It's Liddy's office.
Liddy's co-hosting. She's taking over the
Okay.
show. Now it's her office.
Well, every
but,
time.
See, this is why it's better when you're not in studio.
Yeah, well, this is the
Because
point
now
I'm
you're
getting
in
to.
studio
This is
and
the
you got
point
a
I'm
bone
getting
to
to,
pick
sir.
with me. Yeah, what's the problem?
You know, first of all, we have people sitting on traffic on the LIE, so we want to be nice to them. So tune in every Friday night from 6 to 7. But George, every time I'm in the community, because I'm a community guy, I do community things. But when I'm in the community and I call in,
I'm a community guy doing community things.
there
What
we
can I
go.
say?
So when I call in though to call in my own show, you tell me something about I owe you money or something each and every time, which is true. But why do you keep bringing that up?
Normally, I think that's why you're avoiding me. When you're not in the studio, I'm pretty sure it's probably because you owe me money. It's okay. You're paid up. Your bill is paid up, I believe. You're back in the studio.
Back in the studio.
Last week you were at the Hairspray show. That seemed like
That's right. The Argyle
great
Theater.
event.
Yeah, it was a great event.
And you got a great cast of characters in here
and
as
Liddy
usual.
was holding
Again,
down the fort with Maureen Griffin. How was that?
That was actually really, really amazing. I really like her.
Yes.
She's a nice woman.
Yeah, she's a nice woman.
yeah.
You know?
Shout out to Biker Mo,
Yes.
Maureen Griffin, the
And-
great
Yes.
singer.
And she's upstate New York. And,
We had a blast.
You had a blast. So,
We
so
did.
Liddy, tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Oh boy, where do we start? So my name is Liddy, officially Linda Bonanno. I run a charity called First Company Pink with a campaign attached called Got Checked. And I'm the Antichrist of breast cancer awareness. That's who I am. So
I love
basically
it.
everything that you heard thus far, you got to throw it in the garbage because it's not working. What I do is, I seek political, educational, and social changes opposed to just awareness. We say action. So we speak action. So what is action? Action is really, implementing the education, implementing, the healthcare system and so forth. So our Got Check campaign is trifold. Right now we're focusing on three main, objectives. The first one is a National Got Check Day. We thus far have a New York State Got Check Day proclaimed by Assemblywoman Kimberly Jean-Pierre on July 6th. So we're going national with that. The second part is a breast health mandate, which I'm hoping to get an executive order from Governor Cuomo so that we can finally have breast health taught into New York State schools. And the third part is a bill called Shannon's Law to lower mammogram age to 35, which passed unanimously in Assembly for 2 years in a row. And I'm going third year now, and I'm going to kick ass.
Be afraid, Cancer. Liddy is hardcore. She's coming for you.
Right.
Yep.
She's coming for you. So
I'm
you've
ready.
been doing this for a long time, and I think
3 years.
I think I met my match with you because you're more busy than I am. I think.
It's gotten pretty crazy because along the campaign we also have a million other things. We're writing, we were on our third book, published book. I got an app coming out. I got produced, we
she's
produce
producing music.
We
Yeah,
got Check
heard some.
Records, so we're on our fifth song. I mean, I don't know what to do with stuff. I'm really that busy.
So much stuff.
And you showed up here in studio ready to
Always for you, and it's a yes always. Whether you hold me money or not, I'm here.
Well, let's get this straight. I don't owe you money. I don't even know George money. I don't
Are
know
you
where
sure?
They came from.
He's
Is that
the
not how it
best.
works?
I owe Steve money. I
And
do.
George, just get this straight. Liddy came to work with me, not to take my place here, George.
Steve,
Well, she did such a good job. I think you might be out of a job.
I see
I
that.
just want
I
to tell
see
you
that.
something. I got to say this really seriously. Steve has been there for our campaign for a long time. Steve has gave our campaign a voice, which is necessary mostly in colleges all past year without asking for a glass of water. So Steve is my man.
He always comes in here thirsty, looking for a bottle of water or
I know.
something.
And
That's it.
I
That's my
give it
boy.
all to Liddy. But you do amazing work, and
Thank you.
we're going to do some more amazing things because I know you want to get your story and your passion heard on the airwaves at most colleges. So we're going to team
Listen
up
to
and
Liddy
do that. Listen
segment,
to
right?
Liddy, yes.
Listen
We're
to
gonna-
Liddy.
Yeah, so it's great. And all the people that you work with, how important is that for you to get your message out there?
Listen, right now we're on a roll. I mean, things are happening fast. We just recently partnered with the best, in my opinion, of radiologists, Wenger Pizzeri, which I'm super happy because our campaign is what? Our campaign demand an answer. It's a question that says, got checked, yes or no? So got checked where? Where at? We needed the experts, and the experts are Wenger Pizzeri. So I'm, really happy with that. We're on September 21st. We are having a Got Check Day at Town of Babylon for the employees there. 400 people will be getting checked. Can you imagine? I mean, those are results.
But
we're not getting checked.
It's
We're not
strength in numbers, right? You got to get
exactly
those people out there.
So it's really, amazing. Again, we're getting a lot of help from them. It's good stuff.
Right.
A lot of things are happening.
Yeah, and some of our guests here tonight, John Gilmore and Ed Byrne, get the message out too through their books and through their advocacy efforts. So good people get together and do good things. So this is what it's all about.
Absolutely. The hardest thing, I think, with anything that that has purpose in, it's to build a trusted team. Without a trusted team, you can't do anything.
Right.
And that requires time and effort.
That's right, Steve. So trust your team here at WLIE. All right, buddy?
Trust you,
That's
George.
the message there.
I trust you to guide this ship into the ground here.
That's what I'm best at.
This is the Chapters Wrap on WLIE540 AM, 631-955-5400. Please call in. This is our Community Corner segment. We ask our listeners out there, if you're on the road, call in and with any thoughts or questions or just anything you want to say about the show. Because next Saturday, my own event, it's the 5th anniversary of the Chapters Wrap, believe it or not. And I've been doing this thing for 5 years and almost 1,000 shows. And all in the name of providing a platform for others like Liddy and John and Ed and people that call in. So we're going to have an amazing show. We have Schroeder's Ghost that's going to headline. Maureen Griffin is launching her new album, which is another co-host that you met last week. Leanne Brill, Lexi Cassell, Charlie Ward Trouble, Laura Lorenzo, Juliana Galone, Rachel Barcelona, and Jeffrey Ballard would all be performing on September 8th at the Sunset Grill, 4068 Sunrise Highway from 2 to 8. If you want your tickets, it's $25. You go to Eventbrite or contact the Chapters Wrap, chapterscss@aol.com. But I believe we have Lexi Cassell is one of the performers in that show, and she's only 16 years old, and she's an amazing talent. Lexi, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
How are you today?
I'm good, Steve. How are you?
Good. Now, I know you're 16 years old, so summer's almost over, and school is coming up. Are you looking forward to school?
Yeah, I mean, I actually just got my permit today, so it's kind of been very stressful, and,
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I just turned 16 the 22nd, so I'm a little bit stressed with, school and everything coming up, and, I'll be a junior this year, so I'm pretty excited.
Well,
but,
congratulations. You're a busy young lady because you're on social media. I wish I could do the things you do on social media half as good as you. You're a musician, you're a talented performer, and you have Ryan, who's your guitarist, performing with you, and both of you are going to perform next week at our event. Talk about that.
Yeah, so Saturday, September 8th, I'm going to be at the Sunset Grill for, the Chapter's 5th anniversary, and Ryan and I are both really excited, and, we're preparing for it, and hopefully it'll be really cool. So.
Yeah, you're going. So you're going to be performing City Music Hall before one of the Christmas specials, and that must be an honor and, huge thing that you're looking forward to.
Yeah, and also back to the Chapters Wrap, like the sponsors and everything, it's a benefit for great causes, so also.
Yes, you were great causes. We've got Checked, Gift of Life USA, Autism Action Network, Miss New York Senior America, Rock and Roll University, Long Island Cares, Chrissy's With, Just Smile, just to name a few that we're giving back to the community. It's a canned food drive, so everybody needs to bring their canned food items with you on September 8th. So, Lexi, how can people get a hold of you and your music?
Yeah, so it's just my name on Facebook, LEXCASSELL, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff.
Well, that's great, Lexi. Thank you so much. You're a talented young performer, and I can't wait for you to perform in front of our large crowd next week at the Sunset Grill.
Yeah, I'm so excited for Radio City, and yeah, thank you.
So when you make it big, Lexi, remember me, right? You gonna remember me?
Of course.
Okay, all right.
How could she forget that face, Steve?
Remember all of us.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, George.
I work in radio too.
Right,
I don't have much money.
Okay.
Please help.
Well,
Send
remember
help.
all of us, George too, and Liddy. So,
Yes, please.
Lexi, thanks very much. Have a great weekend. Have a safe holiday. Okay.
Bye, Lex.
All right, we have another caller. This is a Community Corner section segment of our show. I believe we have Mel Campos from Mount Vernon Boys and Girls Club. Are you there, sir?
I am here. How are you, Steve?
Good. How are you? How's your summer?
Good. Coming to an end. I'm getting ready for December.
Yes, getting ready, coming to an end already. I can't believe it's already August 31st. Tomorrow is September, and you are one of the groups that we're going to be honoring at our 5th anniversary event next week. And I want to thank you for a number of reasons. We've been friends for, I think, almost 10 years now, and you've been a kind of a mentor towards me in all the efforts you do for the Boys and Girls Club. You've helped me through some difficult times along the way, but you've also been a supporter of the show. Why do you do these things?
Well, Steve, a long time ago, somebody told me that when someone helps you out, and we all have had people to help us out, it's your responsibility to help someone else out. And I took it to heart. So I like to see people doing things that they didn't think were possible. The work that you do, Steve, giving young people opportunities, like the young lady you just had on, Lexi, there's not a lot of people that give young people opportunities, and you do it well, and I'm happy to be a small part of it.
Well, you're a big part of it, and every year you've given us the privilege to kind of do the show and MC your event each year with the young people from the Mount Vernon Boys and Girls Club, the spoken word, and I meet so many fine young people and your staff and your board members. It almost kind of feels like a second home to me when I come out there.
Well, you're part of the family, Steve, and we look forward to doing it again later on this year and next year. And your spot is secure.
Well, I thank you very much, sir. I can't wait to see you. I know you had a busy summer, and you doing outstanding things for your own program. So thank you for taking a few minutes here to call us on the Chapters Wrap.
It's my privilege, Steve. Can't wait to see you next week.
It's going to be great. Have a great weekend. Have a great holiday.
Bye.
And I think we're going to take one more caller. I think we have Larry Davis on the line, who's on his way to the U.S. Open. Are you there, Larry?
That's right, man. No, I am not at the U.S. Open yet, but I am pretty close.
Okay, so what do you mean? Did you have an extra ticket for me? I mean, what's going on? I thought we were friends.
There's always extra ticket for you, Steve. With my buddy from A1 VIP Entertainment, they always have tickets. That's the place you got to call for any ticket anywhere all over the country.
There we go. So you're going to the U.S. Open tonight. I'm kind of jealous because you got Serena versus Venus, and I'm a big tennis guy. So what do you think about this match coming up?
Well, they said it's the 30th match between them, and I'm a huge Serena fan. I mean, I like Venus too, but I tell my kids all the time, look at Serena. She should go down as a top 5 athlete. Forget about just women athlete, top 5 athlete of all time.
Yeah, top 5, and when it's unusual when you have two professionals on that level facing off against each other in the setting in New York City. So it's going to be quite a treat for you to kind of witness this.
Well, it's really unusual. I mean, they're sisters. I mean, I can't even think about it, Steve, in any sport. Can you? In any sport, any brothers, sisters, cousins, relatives have ever done anything like this?
No. I think Serena has the 3-2 advantage on Venus in the last 5 U.S. Open matches. So dating back to 2001 through 2002, 2005, 2008, and most recently in 2015. So it's gonna be fun there, and I think the weather will hold out. It's a little cooler, so I hope you got good seats. And I wish I was with you.
Yes, you do wish we're going to be in a suite, tons of food. I got a couple of celebrity friends of mine coming too. Jimmy Layers is coming in later. I invited Victor Cruz of the Giants, so hopefully them and all our clients will be in there. And just so everybody knows, if they ever want to get a suite or any tickets, A1 VIP is 888-957-TIX. So just so you know, that's my buddy's company, and anything you need, including tickets to Bat Boy.
Yeah,
I mean, Steve, let's talk about that. I mean, you can get Bat Boy tickets from him.
Yeah, okay, that's what we got to do. The play Bat Boy is coming out in October, and you're going to be playing George Steinbrenner again. So, and I think I'm going to be the marshmallow salesman again, and
reprising your role.
Okay, George. See, every time I say marshmallow, George jumps right in. He's
my favorite
trained here. It's like Pablo.
The best.
Yeah, it's the best. But you played a mean George Steinbrenner. You were great at that role. So I'm looking forward to working with you again in October.
Well, Steve, whenever you say marshmallow salesman, I think that you have the nice belly for a nice marshmallow salesman.
There we go. All right. Well, anyway, Larry, thank you so very much. Enjoy the Open, and I know we're going to be seeing each other next week.
Absolutely, buddy.
All right, take care.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
I think we have one more call. No, we don't have any more call. We're going to take another break, and after the break, John Gilmore from the Autism Community Walk. Stay with us.
There was a dream, so
Hi, I'm Maureen Griffin, also known as Biker Mo. I'm a singer-songwriter here on Long Island. Some of you may also know me as a leader of song in church and a co-host on Chapters Wrap with Steve Vaccaro. I'm also an avid motorcyclist and member of Long Island Abate, participating in charity bike runs for children and veterans. My songs are based on the motorcycle adventures I share side by side with my husband Curtis all around the beautiful USA. If you ever long for new songs that have the feel of old-time rock and roll and country, then I know you'll love my music, which is definitely not for bikers only. And if you love old-time gospel hymns, I have an album of your favorites called How Can I Keep From Singing, a portion of which proceeds goes to help the homeless right here on Long Island. Take a listen to my songs and a look at my music videos at www.bikermo.com. That's biker, M as in Mary, O as in Oscar, bikermo.com. God bless and ride safe.
I just left the doc, got checked, I feel good. It feel good, don't it?
Hey, it's your girl Liddy from Got Checked. Today is your day. Are you ready for action? Your breast health starts with you, and Liddy is here to help you get it done. So, did you know that 3D mammograms expose you to 40% less radiations and provide a more effective view to the radiologist? You have a few different options here, so find out today at our trusted friends Zwenger Paziri Radiology across Long Island and locations all over the boroughs. Make an appointment now, sink in a plush zippy robe, think about yourself for a moment, and when you're done, ask us for a Got Checked pin and wear it proudly. Check off breast health from your list and start living your best life with us today. So, any questions? We're here for you at firstcompanypink.org or zwingerpaziri.org.
Keep fighting back until that cancer beat. And I'm just trying to take your mind off it, dance to me. I just left the doc, got checked, I feel good. It feel
This is the Chapters Wrap on WLIE540 AM. Please call in at 631-955-5400. That is The Love Train by the OJs. And I figured out the trick to driving on the LIE is do all your work east of exit 59 at LIE and coming back west to the station so you don't hit all that traffic. So if you're sitting in traffic, put on 540 AM. Check us out every Friday from 6 to 7. And in studio here, we have Jennifer Wainwright. And Jennifer, you were sitting in that traffic, and welcome to the show, and talk a little bit about yourself.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here with everybody. I hope everyone had a great afternoon. I am the current reigning Ms. New York North America. I'm also a member of the Senior Advisory Council of the Organization of Triangles, which is one of several Masonic youth groups. And I'm also a member of the Board of Trustees for a domestic violence and sexual assault resource and recovery program called All Hope Restored.
Now, so you are a busy woman as well, Liddy. I mean, I think we both met a match here. I get bring busy people together.
I was lost at the first part. Hold on. What did you say the first thing was? Beauty,
Miss New York.
Miss New York. Look, I love that. See, that was all the other stuff is cool. But that was cool. I like hearing that. Awesome.
Thank you.
Good for you.
But so the work that you do with domestic violence, talk about what gives you the passion to do that. Why do you want to help people out there?
Because of my own personal experience, I feel like I experienced what I did to be able to use that experience to educate others and reach out and help them find their resources and their strength to get back on their feet, and to be an example that there is light at the end of the tunnel and that your life is worth living and that there's hope for you.
So real quick, because we're going to get to our next guest, John Gilmore, what advice would you give to young ladies or young men, young boys that are dealing with domestic violence, or women or men in general? What advice would you give them?
For one, what you're feeling is real. Don't ignore red flags. Follow your instincts. If it feels wrong, it is wrong. There are resources for you. There are people that will support you. And I know it's the most frightening and most dangerous decision you're ever going to make in your life, but leaving is the most important decision you're ever going to make in your entire life for yourself and your children if you have children involved. Whatever the situation is, you have to get out. You have to have a plan. You have to have that plan in place and get your support system together and get out.
Jennifer, thank you very much. Those are words to live by. And again, as a psychologist, it's important to have stories like yourself and what Liddy's talking about. And the next guest, John Gilmore, who's the executive director of the Autism Community Walk. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thanks a lot, Steve.
Yeah, talk about the walk that's coming up on October 20th.
Well, we have a walk called the Autism Community Walk and Resource Fair 2018, and it's going to be at Belmont Lake State Park, which is a beautiful park on Long Island. It's exit 38 on the Southern State Parkway. And let's see, we're going to have a resource fair that starts at 9. We're going to have groups from all over Long Island, businesses, community groups, healthcare providers, who all have some relationship to, obviously, autism and developmental disabilities. And we're also going to have a lot of fun stuff there for kids. We're going to have some bouncy houses and pumpkin decorating and face painting and a slime booth and a bunch of games, a petting zoo, horses, just all kinds of stuff. So it'll be fun. And the walk starts at 11. And basically what we're trying to do a couple of things with the Autism Community Walk. One is we're trying to support the various groups that are participating. And we're also trying to do education of people in general, people within the autism community, and decision makers as well. Because a lot of the people who came together to make the walk happen, we're involved in autism, and we usually have family members who are affected. And there's two problems we keep on running into. One is there's a lack of resources pretty much everywhere you look. Public resources, school resources, healthcare resources, and so on. And there's a lack of education. And those are the sort of two goals we have with this, is to support those groups that are supporting the community to try and increase the education and resources out there available to deal with this epidemic.
Right. Now, you heard from Liddy and Jennifer, and probably a little bit about myself. We all have that passion. There's a reason why we do what we do. Right. So what's the reason for you?
Well, that's exactly what occurred to me as I was listening to Jennifer and Liddy. It's clear that we have all been powerfully impacted by something. With Jennifer, I guess it's domestic violence. With Liddy, I'm sure somebody in your life had breast cancer. And with me, it's my son was affected by autism at a very young age. And it completely changed his life, and it also completely changed my life as well. And, just as he's grown up, there's been sort of different challenges all the way along. And I know the challenges that I've been dealing with, and my family's been dealing with, thousands and thousands of other people have been dealing with that problem as well. And for whatever reason, I'm the kind of person who says, well, I want to do something about this. I want to make sure that no other family has to go through the stuff that we've had to go through and that my son has got to go through. Right. And so that experience for some people just motivates them to do something.
It's always personal, right? I mean, for me, personal. I lost a mother to the disease. You have a son.
Right.
It's always personal.
It's always personal because you can't really get your head around this unless you actually
you have it. Yeah.
It's just too.
I agree.
It's too complicated, and it has to be something I think as a huge loss like we've both experienced to sort of really motivate you to completely change the path your life is on to do it.
And to give you laser focus on that,
right.
Specific, right? It's like, it's
right.
an undying passion.
Right. I mean, I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I work on this, and I'm still working at it, late at night. And
that's how you get the results, though.
That's the only way you get results, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, you are an amazing hard worker at this, and the passion that you put together. And I know Jennifer too. I mean, the personal experiences that we face, even myself, that I choose the field that I'm in, is based on a personal experience, and it gives you that edge. It gives you that day-to-day passion to want to help others. And there's not a lot of people that go out there when they're dealing with adversity. Sometimes they shut it down and kind of deal with their own thing, but. Yep. The people in this room don't do that. So how do you reach out to people? What's your biggest challenge to do that, John? And also the most rewarding aspect of it?
The most rewarding aspect of it is like when we actually make some concrete change that really sort of affects other people and makes their lives better, right? For example, just last week, Governor Cuomo signed a bill that we've been working on literally for years that will make the state government of New York, for the first time, figure out just how much autism is costing us, because it's in the many, many billions of dollars at this point, we know, and it's going to be a lot more, right? And I think when we do this, that's the kind of thing that opens people's eyes. Because I don't think when we get the data we're looking for, I don't think a lot of people are going to believe how enormous the cost is. So, and I think that's the type of thing that we need to sort of kind of move the oil tanker of the world that's so hard to move in the direction it needs to go to address some of these issues that we're dealing with.
You're also just like me seeking real political changes
We're seeking
too.
real
It's
political
not
change.
just, you know,
Yeah, I mean,
you know, because the walks and all the the fundraisers and all that, it's fun. It's like accessories, right? But there's always like at the end of the day, right? If we're not making serious changes, you know, even in the education system.
I mean, the walk is great. You know, we raise, you know, last year we raised $80,000, which we were very happy with. And with that, though,
we
can use that $80 million to potentially leverage billions of dollars.
Right.
And that's the goal.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, those billions of dollars.
Yes, and that's why, you know, our show is always going to support your efforts, and it is personal. It's personal because the rates of autism is increasingly significantly over the years. In the 50s, it was like 1 in 2,000. Now it's like 1 in 33, and the community is divided by the reasoning for that. So it's your job to bring people together, you know, to understand and support one another, regardless of, you know, what the thought is medically or genetically or environmentally.
Well, that's what we're trying to do because you know there is sort of a lot of fragmentation within the autism world, and you know we're trying to sort of get past that and say that we have a lot of absolutely vital shared interests that nothing's going to happen unless we actually work together on these type of things. You know, we could get this study done, find out what the numbers are, and so on and so forth. But again, if we're going to get those billions of dollars, it's going to take sort of everyone to sort of like take a longer term view and, put the small differences down and focused on the much larger shared interests.
Yeah, the big picture.
Yeah, what we're going to do is we have actually two people on the line, both from Florida, as it turns out, both affected or dealing with the autism community in their own way. We have Rachel Barcelona, who's on the line, and we have author Mark Pulver, who is an author that wrote a book about his adult experience with autism. Are you both there, Rachel and Mark?
Yes, and I have my uncle on the line too, Steve.
Okay. All right, let's go to Rachel first. Rachel, talk about your efforts in the autism community. Why do you do what you do?
Well, I have autism myself, and that's exactly why I do what I do, because I have always wanted to show others that just because I have autism, it doesn't mean I can't have the same opportunities as everyone else.
So you're on a large scale. You not only do things in Florida, but you're worldwide, young lady. You are traveling the world, doing all kinds of things. You're talented. You've sang at Madison Square Garden. You're going to be singing in Radio City Music Hall. But you're also an advocate, a strong advocate for all kinds of people challenged with autism. So you're traveling a lot to get that word out and to support others.
Oh, definitely. I just came back from the Czech Republic. I went with a group of other girls. They were therapists, ABA therapists to be exact. And we were helping train other therapists in the Czech Republic to help kids with autism, because unfortunately in that country, it's not very well known there. And this is kind of funny because one of the Uber drivers I had, they asked about my visit and they thought autism was a hotel.
Wow.
So that's exactly why I do what I do. And it was very empowering. I got to give a speech about my experience, my life, what worked for me. And over 90 people showed up, and it was mostly composed of parents. And I got a whole myriad of questions, but I just felt great knowing I helped people that day.
God bless you. I love what you do.
Thank you.
No, seriously, you really you touch my heart.
You know, Rachel, I have to tell you, I follow you on Facebook, and I met you at the Gift of Life event.
I'm following now.
And I am just so in awe of you. You are absolutely amazing in the things that you do. And, you know, we're birds of a feather since we're both trying to dispel myths about what we stand for. And I just wanted to let you know how inspired I am by you.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So you got a lot of love here in Long Island here, Rachel. John, what do you think about Rachel Barcelona?
I think that's great. More power to you, Rachel. The more you can get out there and, like I was talking about earlier, educate the world, the better off we're all going to be.
Right, right. And Mark Pulver, you're on the line too. You're an author, sir, and I believe you have your uncle on the line. Tell real quick about your book and your connection with the autism community.
Okay, here's what I do. When I learned some years back that I was autistic, I says, wait a minute, I have a gift, not a disability. So with my uncle on the line, if I'm free to speak, I ask him for help. I wrote a book, and ever since I wrote my book, I give speeches at schools, organizations down there. I'm very big in the community. I'm away now in Los Angeles, and I'm working with some disabled students at a place called Leaps and Bounds, where they teach these disabled life learning skills. What I'm doing is I'm inspiring them to be a self-advocate, and if they want to, write a book about themselves and their experience, and to give them positive ideas on now how they can be self-advocates, how they can thrive and flourish and do things like I'm doing to uplift themselves, like I have through the help of myself and through others, like one link at a chain. And this is what I'm all about. Very similar to what Rachel does, advocating and helping others thrive and be their own person and flourish in their own way.
So the name of your book is what, and how can people get a hold of that book?
It's called Living Life with Autism: The World Through My Eyes, and it's on Amazon. To go to Mark Pulver with a C. It's on Amazon.com. They can order the book through Amazon.
So both Rachel and Mark, I'm going to throw this question out to you, both of you guys. So you've dealt with adversity head on.
Correct.
And you
Correct.
could have, you both could have chosen to deal with that adversity and kind of make ends meet and try to work through it day to day. But you're doing that, but you're also changing the world. Why do you do what gives you the incentive to do that?
Okay, I'll tell you, because I wanted to live a good, normal, productive life. I didn't want any limitations deferring me from reaching my full potential. I knew that I didn't care what other things, but I knew exactly what I had to offer in life. And not only that, but I can help others and inspire them to blossom and to grow and for them to gain their own self-image and advocate for themselves, and hopefully they'll advocate for others. This is like the chain, one link at a time. This is dear to my heart, what I'm doing. Anywhere I can, I'll go and volunteer at places, whether it's in my hometown, in my community, or other places where I go to visit, because I want to make the world a better place and let disabled persons know that they're not really disabled, that they are gifted, and I'm a walking example of that. I hopefully that answered your question.
Yeah, well said. Couldn't have said it better myself in any way. Rachel, what are your thoughts about what gives you the drive to do what you do but not? I mean, I'm sure you must have difficult days, Rachel, but you're young, so you have a lot ahead of you. The connections that you want to make in the future. What's your vision?
Well, my vision is to just let things happen, because you never know what will. I think our lives are just one big book, and we need to write things in it. I mean, preparation is the worst. You can't have your entire life planned out at a certain time. So I just like to let things happen. But definitely my motivation is just to wake up every day and be positive. Because like many autistic people, they were always told that they couldn't do something because of their disability. And I believe that's not true. We can do so many things. We can fly to the moon, but unfortunately we choose not to take the challenge, and I want to take a challenge.
Wow, that is totally inspiring for a lot of people listening. This is the Chapters Wrap on WLIE 540 AM. If you want to join in, please do it 631-955-5400. We're talking to John Gilmore, Rachel Barcelona, and Mark Pulver. Mark is in Los Angeles. Rachel's in Florida, and we're here in New York. We have Lydia and Jennifer here in the studio, along with George and John, bringing this all together. Your walk, it sounds like these are the type of people that reinforce your efforts.
Right. I mean, Mark and Rachel, if you're in Long Island on October 20th, you'd like to come by, we'd love to see you, and this is the kind of thing and people that we're hoping will come, people who will basically motivate and inspire and provide sort of the positive things that people with autism and their families are looking for.
And again, John, how can people contact you?
Okay.
Go to the walk, help, volunteer?
Plug time.
Okay.
Yeah. If you go to www.autismcommunitywalk.org, you can find out all the information about the walk. I'm John Gilmore. You can contact me. My email is on there as well. It's just jgilmore@autismcommunitywalk.org. And it's October 20th. It's a fundraising event, so if you would like to donate, we'd love to have you donate to us. If you want to start a team, like most walks have, you can do that online. You can join a team online if you want. If you'd like to volunteer, go to the website, contact us. We need lots of people. So if you get onto the web, you can find the information you need to get in contact with us.
I have one final question. It has to do with Lydia and John. You both are high level working politically to making laws change. You both have worked with Governor Cuomo and different people. Talk about the importance of people voting, number one, but also supporting and to connecting with the politicians and the people that really could make a difference. How important is that in both your efforts? Lydia first.
I just, as I said, to me, listen, it's fantastic, how people fundraise and fundraising events and all that. But I took a step about 2 years ago where I decided exactly that, we needed to also be goal oriented, because there are a lot of charities out there that it's a lot of, fundraising to fundraise, and the fundraising never ends. And at the end of the day, to me, it was important to really, have results. What are the results? Well, in my campaign, it's called Got Checked. If people are not getting checked, we failed. Right. So that's really the bottom line. So for me, of course, where do you go to make changes? Politics, right? So we seeked out everybody, that, was able to help our agenda. I mean, we are very clear that Long Island, is a war zone when it comes to breast cancer. Suffolk County primarily. We know the numbers. I mean, it's bad. Right. I don't know if people are aware. It's really bad. Does anybody know that actually the youngest woman diagnosed in the last couple of years was 18 years old? Now we're talking 18 years old with breast cancer, with a bilateral mastectomy, wearing a mastectomy bra, and right before prom. Does that make any sense to you? So how are we not really understanding that it's necessary that we change the whole ballgame? Because obviously nothing that is being done right now matches what's going on with the age diagnosis. Right. These are not older ladies in a foreign country or young women in Suffolk County. So, of course, politics, education, all that, it's got to change. It's got to adapt.
And John, bringing it back to the autism community, how important it is to connect with these politicians?
It is absolutely crucial, essential. It is the only way we get things done. I can't emphasize to you how important it is that people who care about these issues actually get in touch with your elected officials. We're in a very weird time politically in the United States, maybe the world right now, and I think a lot of people are sort of turned off by it. But there's a lot of issues that can be changed. A lot of these decision makers don't know what we know, and they're willing to listen. But you got to make the effort to get out there and talk to them. And you don't have to be a polished lawyer or professional or anything like that. You're a voter and you have your own experience and it's real. And politicians can tell that. They know who's genuine and who isn't, and they really need to hear from you. If you have a problem, a lot of times they can do something about it. It may not be overnight, but it is literally the absolute essential key to change.
Right.
I can't emphasize that
Or
enough.
you can plant yourself in Albany and never leave.
Well,
and then they have to listen.
And you guys have done
and we
that.
do that. We are there
do that.
The many
all
people do,
the time.
right? That's what we do, right?
Well, we're just about out of time. John, in case people just tuning in, how can people get a hold of you or the walk on the 20th?
autismcommunitywalk.org. Look us up, and all the information is there. Our event is October 20th, Belmont Lake State Park, the Autism Community Walk and Resource Fair. Get in touch with us.
All right, John Gilmore, God bless your efforts. The Executive Director of
Steve.
Autism Community Walk. We're going to take a quick break, and after the break, we have author Edward Byrne in the house here.
My name is Joseph Michael, professional photographer and the founder of Just Smile Project. Just Smile Project focuses on photographing kids with special needs. Our goal is to make happy memories because everyone needs to smile. We make it easy and hassle-free by coming to you in our mobile portrait studio truck equipped with a lift for special needs assistance. The truck is also equipped with different types of lighting for sensory situations of special needs. Just Smile Project wants everyone to share their smiles. We make them feel like a rock star, and to see their faces light up with excitement and enjoy is the best feeling anyone can ever experience, especially the rock star. Just Smile Project wants everyone to cherish those memories forever, which is worth the world. If you have a family member or you know of someone with special needs and think they would love to have Just Smile Project capture their awesome smile, please contact us at 888-294-7575, or you can visit us online at www.justsmileproject.com.
Hey everyone, Tom Stiegel of Schroeder's Ghost. Many of you have seen Schroeder's Ghost live, but for those who haven't, let me tell you a little bit about the band. Schroeder's Ghost plays a wide variety of eclectic songs that you know and love, but not everybody plays. Songs from bands like Steely Dan, Toto, Boston, Cheap Trick, Supertramp, Etta James, Fauna, and more. We pay tribute to these bands by playing them down to the note. Schroeder's Ghost is made up of an amazing group of musicians. Pam Dixon, Tommy Higgins, Rich Foreman, Paul Cruz, Colleen Farquhar, and of course me, Tom Stiegler. There are 6-part harmonies in this band, passionate performances, and entertaining antics on stage. We're available for private parties, corporate events, concerts, and special shows. To contact us, you can call 516-578-7805. You can also go to schroedersghost.com, where you can get links for some great videos of the band. We're also available on Reverb Nation and Facebook. The band is tight, the vibe is right, Schroeder's Ghost will haunt you well past the night.
All over the world. Don't start a love tree, love tree, love tree.
All right, we're back here in this love train. We have author Edward Byrne in the house here. Love's Not Over Till It's Over, a novel that he written recently. Edward Byrne is a lawyer, having practiced in the field of construction law in the New York City metropolitan area for almost 40 years. This is his first novel. You can read its background at www.edwardbyrne.com. Welcome to the show, sir.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me, Steve.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I'd have to correct one thing, though. I didn't write it recently.
Okay, how long ago was it?
First draft finished 1984.
Oh, okay.
Spent a lot of time.
Meanwhile, I thought it was a book about construction, so
That's
it's all good.
No,
It's a novel. I could take your time.
Further from that.
So you know what it was, because I know you have thoughts of writing another book. So I got a little bit sidetracked with that. So
I'm about 2/3 done.
All right, 2/3.
And the first book, the name of that one is In Whom I Am Well Pleased. The first book is a father and son book dedicated to my father and late son. My father was undiagnosed PTSD from World War II. They didn't even know what it was. They would drop these guys back after 4 years in the Pacific. Just so long, have a good life. My son, who was very much like my father, wound up with PTSD from working as a New York City firefighter and Jones Beach lifeguard.
Wow.
Yeah,
and he took his life 4 years ago last week.
Right.
So that second book's,
And you're obviously you're talking about post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yes.
It's ironic that you said that because being that I had breast cancer, so it took me 7 years to really get out of the whole drama of the illness. And when you mentioned that, I totally understand, because breast cancer, same thing. You have the whole post-traumatic stress disorder for a very, very long time where you don't see the light. So
Yes,
I totally understand how, you're under siege. You're, it's just mind terror. So
But we talked about how personal things get, and it doesn't get more personal. What you just shared a few moments ago, that your son took his life several years back, and you're here. It's an anniversary of that time. What do you remember about your son?
Pretty much everything. I have a very strong recall, and in the course of doing this book, we start with what I would call the event, and then work backwards, because, people say, why are you torturing yourself? Well, the chapters really alternate between the bad times and the good times.
Wow.
And, I think it's kind of a cautionary tale, because you can go from what's pretty much an almost perfect life to sheer disaster in short order. I mean, this was an all-American boy, and had everything going for him. Really, I'd say even looked like a movie star. And, everything went to hell very quickly.
Wow. Yes,
So-
definitely movie
so
star.
How old was your son?
34.
34 years old. So suicide is a topic that I've dealt with on a personal and professional level. And one of the organizations that are part of our 5-year anniversary event is an organization called Chrissy's Wish. They lost their daughter, 26 years old, to suicide, and they did everything they could, and they didn't know what was going on. They found luggage with journals and journals and journals of her after she had passed away, of what she wanted, her wishes. So they started this agency called Chrissy's Wish. And, Linda and Mario Rossi, if you're listening out there, I love you very much, and all the efforts you've done to help prevent this. So as a parent, how do you cope with that?
How do you cope with that? Different people do different things. In my own way of dealing with it, I think I deferred everything to drag the rest of my family away from, what I would call our personal ground zero. And, I'm dealing with it now, going through all this and reliving it. It's painful, but you have to keep going. It ties into the first book.
Right.
Love's not over till it's over. And in the prologue, which you can get on that website for free, your free excerpt, the protagonist goes into his old playground, which has been destroyed, and the sacred basketball court has been ripped apart. The rims ripped off, and across the backboard has been spray painted. Life sucks.
Right.
And, there's some rough language in the book, but I think that's the roughest of them all, and of all the phrases. And frankly, the point of the book is that life doesn't suck. Life is a gift. And no matter what it throws at you, how difficult that may be, you have to try to take it head on. Get whatever help you need, but stay with it, because it will surprise you.
Right.
And you cannot surrender to that concept that life is not worth living.
Right.
It's all we have. It's a great gift. And look at what you do. It's all about
saving lives.
Right. So, it's that simple. And so it's difficult. It's a philosophical war, if you will, to go each day and say, no, I won't surrender to this. I don't see it that way. In his case, of course, there was substance abuse involved. It's a spiral. It's PTSD, drugs, alcohol, mental disorder. They diagnosed him as bipolar. They give you more drugs. Who knows what how effective that is? And in his case, he truly did lose everything, and he lost hope. And without hope, you can't go on.
Right.
So, you know, you have to hope and not be afraid of making a mistake. And hopefully you don't make the same mistake twice, and you carry on. That's all you can do. So, thematically, I guess the two books are connected.
Right, right. So you're an attorney for a long, long time.
I call myself a lawyer.
Okay, you're a lawyer. Okay.
I'm supposed to know something about the law. I'm not
There
quite
we
sure
go.
what an attorney is, except somebody's spouse calls them that.
Okay, there we go. There we go. But when this took hold of you several years ago, I mean, how did you go back to working, and how I mean the work that you do to help others as a lawyer, it must have been difficult during those days, those initial days afterwards.
You see, lawyers have the unique advantage of knowing where they were and what they were doing every day, like keeping track of it. So I can verify that I was blown out of the water for a while, but then you can see how that was kind of a saving grace, was to throw yourself into the work.
Right.
And I have to say, though, that for 2 or 3 years before, when all hell was breaking loose, that was just as difficult as in and out of rehabs and all the, you know, all the madness that was going on.
Right.
So it wasn't like some people are taken by surprise by a suicide, and that was not our situation. It was one of the possible outcomes, certainly one we dreaded, but it was not like all of a sudden this happens out of the blue, and that is numbing.
So you truly endured hell. I mean, I have children, you know.
Yeah.
That's something that
But
that you
found
endured hell.
sooner
That
or
is
later,
hell.
everything becomes normalized, no matter what it is.
I know, because you get used to that pain.
And you know, that's the way it is. John, his family situation with his son, that's the way it is, and you do adjust to that, hopefully.
Right. But yet you're here on the airwaves talking about what you've endured, maybe because you can help one person out there. And if you could, we're almost out of time, but if you could say something to one person out there that may be going through a difficult time, maybe contemplating a life-ending choice or life-changing decision, what would you give that person? What kind of advice?
I would say to them, just do not quit. Do not quit. That tomorrow can have a whole different look to it.
So my mom used to say,
as
tomorrow's another
black
day.
as today
Exactly.
is, and that things can turn around on a dime, in a heartbeat. The lonely person can meet the love of their life the next day.
Mhm. Yep.
And you cannot, you got to stay in the game. That's all. Don't take yourself out of the game. The game's not over.
Right, right.
That's it.
God bless you, sir. We got to get you back
Thank
on
you.
this show because we didn't even address
you.
the book aspect of things. But how can people get a hold of you and the book if
Okay.
they're interested, real quick?
So if you go on the website, it's www.edwardtbyrne.com, and tells you the whole backstory, which you'll find very funny. It's a tale of rejection.
I'm gonna get that.
And yeah, the story behind the story is almost as interesting as the story, and it turns out that the novel is a lot better than I thought it was, and I thought it was pretty good. So and baby boomers have just zoomed to it. So
Awesome.
if you've got a father, it's a much better Father's Day gift than a ugly tie.
Well, this has been an amazing show. I want to
Awesome.
thank John and Ed and Liddy and Jennifer and George and all the listeners out there. Come on back to the Chapters Wrap. I know it got kind of heavy here in the studio, but this is what it's all about. Take care of each other, love each other, enjoy the holiday, be safe, no drinking and driving. We'll see you next week.
And tomorrow's another day, baby.
The views, opinions, and statements expressed in the preceding program reflect the views of program contributors and do not necessarily reflect the views of WLIE Radio, its management, or its sponsors. For questions and comments, please send us an email at WLIE540AM radio@AOL.com or visit us at WLIE540AM.com.
This is Higher Ground with Pastor Gary Grant
and First Lady Grant,
inviting you to tune in with us on WLIE 540 AM and online at WLIE540AM.com every Saturday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. as we expound the gospel of grace. We're also here to pray for you. Remember,